about my being the rep. Niggas ain't never been on my lip. They must got the wrong impression. All my fears and salute my Lord. I took my check. Go through all this just to drop my sword. That shit out the question. Kyle can't call 144. We got the wrong yo. Keep talking. I'm deep stroking revenge. She a grown. I get 2 Glocks fully loaded, nigga. I call him dumb and dumb. What's wrong with him? He should've known better. He must be on something. Hey, it's Mr. Bring me back that cup. Niggas know they in trouble. Look around, little nigga. You see my breath? We think it was a mom. Red letters got me waiting on the D. Lord, we ain't no priest. I want the world to burn, just like Arthur Flip. I asked my Lord when we get that power. He said time to show. Took that first step like a man. I ain't no child no more. I need that glow. Humble, I don't like the boast. They know it ain't 144. They don't come close. Let's see who wanted the most. I'm from a city where they blitz. They'll rob you quick. Ask a God out DC about that shit. We both came up with trick. I remember when I was lost and on the wrong path. Lies that I told my mother, lies that I told my dad. Remember I walked in the house, he seen all the stress on my head. Called you about that robbery after school, I knew what I did. Victim of peer pressure all along, I guess I was scared. I saw the niggas help Miss Graham that crack, I should've killed her. I understand our oppression, when she died it was heartbreaking. About to take a trip to Newtown just to say I'm sorry, man. This the only family I gotta play to win. At least I'm for my children, so they ain't victim of they sin. Glory, cause I chased away that demon, try to take my kin. Can't taste that pleasures with a vengeance, he'll be back again. Niggas move by emotions, I'm a soldier, I can't comprehend. Just know when Satan put that pressure on him, he'll probably been. Jumped off in that water, he can hardly swim. Strap on me, to protect my people, I'm on God. I got a crazy bitch, love the crazy in me, call her Harley Quinn. Remember what you did for me back then, always a long friend. Text my nigga threw his life away, I'm in a dark place. You supposed to be right here with me, you chose the wrong side. Wasn't always friends, we locked in after no, I can't go like that, my lord, no, not this time. I am the rep, ask about my being the rep. Niggas ain't never been on my lip, they must got the wrong impression. All my fears and salute my Lord. I took my check. Go through all this just to drop my sword. That shit out the question. Kyle can't call 144. We got the wrong yo. Keep talking. I'm deep stroking revenge. She a grown. I get 2 Glocks fully loaded, nigga. I call him dumb and dumb. What's wrong with him? He should've known better. He must be on something. Hey, it's Mr. Bring me back that cup. Niggas know they in trouble. Look around, little nigga. You see my brother? We think it was a mom. I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Seen a man rise from the dust, shit glorious in my sight. Never yield, I'm indebted to that old Lord Christ. Can't let them colors fly, only blood will suffice. Try to divide my brethren, I'ma put it in his light. Is you going to endure? Damn right, I need that white gold with them stones. Look like Gingerella and ice. Shit, the time will tell when the bones are healed and we live again.
This shit right here for the cold-blooded killers and the gangsters vibe. But the hoes love it, break it for a $5 T. Spend a whole 100, no stunting. This is for the niggas that need more money. I done stopped the rebel from putting several in the casket. He throwing everybody involved if I ask it. So don't make me get a word. I'm scared of what he might do. Don't make me build a nerve. Down in your lawn, feel like it's the beginning of the purge. Look, it's like I'm all out of options. Hard being a killer with a conscience. Ginger ale and ice with tequila talking nonsense. Cause beef ain't really no beef. Till there's no more sleep, do a drill, we do a drill. Osmos and beat, 2 to the body, 1 to the head, fuck it, on repeat. 1 west, you know them cult leaders are run the street.
Seen a man rise from the dust, shit glorious in my sight. Never yield, I'm indebted to that old Lord Christ. Can't let them colors fly, only blood will suffice. Try to divide my brethren, I'ma put it in his light. Is you going to endure? Damn right, I need that white.
Check. They put a 1 in the chat, 144 in the chat if you can hear me. Baba Kushah, put a 144 in the chat if you can hear me. Shalom. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Brakatah, to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Lathah Bahashim Yahushua, to all my sisters, I'm priest and officer of 1,000 Bon Kayal, coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And tonight is our Monday night scripture breakdown class, aka the history class, man. Let's get a Lord in hand for that cookout, the Carolina Coke Classic cookout. Yeah, Most High in Christ. Go over to the comments, right there, up, the water, brother, the water. I got Officer Batazar one in the house with me tonight. Who else in the house? We got Charlotte in the house. I know Durham doing what they do. You know. Yeah, go ahead and read them off from the room, Sean.
Sister Stop in the building. Shalom. Cheyenne in the building. Shalom. Sis. Priest and officer of 59 High, big priest, man. The water to you for this weekend, man. Throw it down on that grill.
Mm-hmm.
We got Red in the building. Shalom. And of course, priest and officer 5,000 Zion Yahala in the building, man. And Juan just popped in. Shalom, Israel.
Damn right. Give yourselves a hand. Everybody that showed up and came out was fortunate enough to be able to come out and travel to North Carolina. Who was that?
Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. It's like, can you hear us in Durham, Bunkyo?
Say what now?
This is Charlotte.
Oh no, we was just shouting at everybody that was in the class tonight. But the water for everybody that had the opportunity to come down, man, it means a lot. You know, I know we're in a new school and it was just a lot of moving pieces, you know, but everybody was, you know, they had compassion, they had empathy, man. Everybody had understanding, and it was a beautiful thing because in the spirit of the Lord, man, everything came together, and that's a beautiful thing. You know what? Matter of fact, let's do that one. Let's start off with that. Zephaniah 2:1. You know, we have to do that as often as possible. Come together as a nation of people, man. And when I say come together, I'm not meaning in the spirit of going to church or in the spirit of, joining a fraternity or a sorority, or joining a gang, or joining, Esau's military, or joining the police force, becoming a part of that thin blue line, we've done that since we've been here. We've done everything other than what we're supposed to do as a nation of people, man. What's most important to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is that we gather ourselves together, man. All right. And the only place where that's going to happen is here in the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, under Commanding General Yohana. Okay. So you got it?
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea. Gather together. O nation not desire.
Salakia, can you all hear me in Durham?
We can hear you, other one, but about the Zion one is very, very low. He sounds distant.
So nothing coming out of there.
Hey, shalom, Yabba Shema Shai Barakatah. Can you hear us in Fayetteville?
Khan, we can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Mic. The wireless mic is the wireless mic. Yeah, no mic. Dead mic over here. So Salaki, who could read? Who else? I see you in the class, man. If you can, can you read for us?
Khan.
The water. Zephaniah 2:1, Baba Kushah. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. While we're waiting for Captain of 13,000, Nayathak Banyamin, to join the class, man. If you got any questions pertinent to history, if you got any questions that you specifically want to ask, put them in the chat. Maybe I'll be able to answer them. If not, we'll make sure that we get that answer to you. You know what I'm saying? If you can read that
verse. Scripture when you're ready, other one.
Do what?
I got the scripture whenever you're ready.
Okay, go ahead, read, brother. The water.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Damn right, man. Zephaniah knew something that we didn't know. Zephaniah was a prophet of the Lord, man. He wasn't like he wasn't in the Christian church. He wasn't like the preachers that we know today. He wasn't like Joel Osteen or Creflo Dollar or T.D. Jakes. He wasn't like any of them, man. Zephaniah was a righteous man. All right. He kept God's law, statutes, and commandments. That's what sets us apart from anyone else. All right. And Zephaniah knew in the spirit of the Lord that we must gather together. All right. It was very, very important. What transpired this past weekend was glorious. We didn't have any incidents. We didn't have any accidents that I know of. And that's a tremendous responsibility, ensuring the safety of everyone, man. People coming from all over the place. Who we had New York was in the building. Virginia was in the building. Yeah, South Carolina was in the building. I mean, I had a brother come all the way from California, Southern California. Texas in the building. Officer Dawada, saw him. Shout out to that trooper, man. I think his name is Shakat. Yeah, give him a hand. Trooper Shakat, man. That brother was in North Carolina, East Coast. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
I was going to say,
go ahead,
Atlanta
brother.
was in the building too.
Oh, damn right. Atlanta Brave was in the building. Atlanta the Brave was in the building, man. And it was a beautiful thing getting to see brothers, interact and engage with their family, man. The children, this is the safest place on earth for you to raise your children, to bring your children around, man. You know, now we all know that we look out for one another. Your children are like my children, and I'm gonna treat them as such. And it was just a beautiful thing, man. You know, I'm still, you know, trying to get back into the swing of things when it comes down to routine. But this is a wonderful thing. What we were able to accomplish, you know, in the spirit of the Lord, under Commander John Yohana, you know, under the leadership of Captain Nia Thought, man, under Zion Ya'ala, all the other 5,000s too, man. You know, everybody put their hand to the plow this weekend, and I don't ever want us to forget, man. It's about service. It's about service. But Zion, find that scripture for me. You know, the greatest amongst you. Read that verse one more time for me, brother.
Come on. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Man, yeah, it's imperative. You can't be an individualite and stay at home. You come into the knowledge of the truth and realize that you are God's chosen. You got to get into the fold, man. You got to come to class. If you're a brother, you have a tremendous responsibility and obligation and duty to your nation. You got to come to camp, man. You have to come to these events. We're not just throwing these cookouts for nothing. If you have the means, you have the time, you should make yourself available, man. Because it's not like we don't want to see you. It's not like we don't want to, you know, engage in the brotherhood. It's not like we, you know, the sisters don't need to see other sisters. This is how we get stronger, man. In gathering ourselves together, all right? What scripture was that, Matthew? What?
Matthew 23 and 11.
The book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 11, if you can. The book of Matthew, chapter 23 and 11. And I just wanted to talk briefly about service. Matter of fact, there it is. Yeah, Matthew 23 and 11. Let's hear what Jesus Christ, as we would foolishly call him in the earth, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, what he has to say about, you know, service. I'm not talking about joining the service. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 11. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant.
But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. So when you think of, we'll just take the ISUPK, for instance. We have a rank and order structure within this school, man, that sets us apart from any other organization. People are afraid of the militancy that's needed in these last days. People are afraid of that order, all right? So when it comes down to the rank and order structure, who would be deemed the greatest in the ISUPK? And why? This is an easy. It's a gimme right here. If you in the class, put it in the chat. About the Zohar one, can you monitor the chat real quick? See if anybody wants to chime in. Who would be deemed the greatest in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge under Yahweh Shai, man? Who would be deemed the greatest? So I give it to you for time's sake. It don't take a genius to know who would be deemed the greatest in this school. Commander Junior Hanna, man. All right. And he's the greatest because of his service, man. You think about all the sacrifices that he had to make in order to just remain within the school, man. He held true to his office, man. You think about since 1969, this school being established. All the camps, all the classes that were taught. On top of the classes, he got a radio show, man. All those. I missed that old YouTube channel, that old One West channel. It had some real jewels on there. Some real jewels on that old YouTube channel, man. Philly we got to find that. We got to bring that back. We had to get with Officer Murrah up in New York and see, because I know at one point in time he was bringing those old tapes back out. You know what I'm saying? But Christ said that he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Who's greater than Yahushua? As far as man is concerned, no one. And that's the goal. The goal is to be what? Like Christ-like. Isn't that what you learn in the Christian church? To be more like Christ. Less of me, Lord. More of you. Pause. The goal is to be Christ-like. The reason why we follow Commander Junior Hana is because he follows Christ. And Christ follows the Most High. Who else is pointing you back to the old ways? Who else is pointing you back to the law, statutes, and commandments? Who else is pointing you back to keep the feast days and the high holy days? Who? Where are they doing that? In the spirit of brotherhood. Where are they doing it, man? In decency and in order. Nowhere. Nowhere outside of this school. Who else is trying to join the Mexicans, the so-called Mexicans with the so-called Negroes, the so-called Haitians? Who else is trying to rejoin black and brown, man? I don't see anybody else doing that on the earth and doing it in the spirit of righteousness. It's not happening nowhere. They're joining everyone other than Israelites to Israel. But he that is greatest amongst you shall be your servant. This is the reason why you see men of great renown and stature within this school. They serve, man. If you find yourself constantly, continually, incessantly being served in here, you know your position. That's a role that you assume. You just show up to be served. And that's not the spirit that Christ had. We're reading right here. Read it again, Ayah. Tell them where you are.
Another one, Khan. This is the book. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 11. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Verse
he
12,
that is greatest among you shall be your
whosoever
servant.
shall.
No, you got it. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted.
Man, what is that? What does that mean? What does that mean? Who exalts themselves, man? What does it mean to exalt yourself? You honor yourself. You hold yourself in high esteem. You set yourself above other brothers. You think you're better than other brothers. For what? What the hell have you done? What have you done to be so prideful? What makes you, you know what, not stink, man? You see men that are greater than you making the sacrifices to do this work. And it definitely is a sacrifice. Men that have tremendous responsibilities and duties outside of this truth. This brother's got 10, 15 children, man. Yeah, go ahead. Give me the definition of abased.
Definition of abased in this context: to depress, figuratively, to humiliate, in condition of the heart, abased, to bring low, to humble.
Yeah. Whoever shall exalt himself, he's going to be brought low. He's going to be humble. He's going to be humbled, man. And that's the spirit, a contrite spirit. That's what you're supposed to have. You're not supposed to be prideful in spirit. Isn't that one of the things that the Lord hates? Whosoever shall exalt himself. How do you exalt yourself? Give me some examples of someone exalting themselves. Go ahead.
Yeah, by being proud, you know. By being proud, being
yeah, give me an example though. Lay it down flat. Give me an example of being proud.
Well, I'm gonna use how the Christians do it. You know, you look at somebody on the street corner in poverty and you frown down upon them and you exalt yourself like you're better than them because you go into that mega church with $50.
Right. I mean, how do you think about in our everyday lives? How do we exalt ourselves? It's very, very vain and carnal things that we do.
Salaki.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, Salaki, I think Captain Nithog's ready.
With that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Captain of 13,000, Naya Thak Banyamya, man. Give him a hand.
Salaki, I believe he might have stepped away for a second.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. I just saw him. Salaki. But can you hear us in Durham though?
Yeah, I can hear you in Durham. I can hear you in Durham. Let's keep rocking until you get in the class, man.
Okay.
We'll just say, like, okay, what makes you think you're better than another brother or sister? The amount of money that you have, your slavery, your level of education, you hold a degree, the type of car that you drive, type of house that you live in. All those things are very vain and carnal and should not separate you from being at one with your brothers and sisters, man. From having brotherhood. We're still not. It's a hookup. Don't worry about it. We'll get it situated. Whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. You're going to be brought low because of your pride, because you honor yourself. You're a great man in here when you honor other men. This is the reason why we say under commanding General Yohana. This is the reason why we always deflect to our camp leader. We always deflect to the men above me. When we send a message out, Salakia, if I may, Salakia to the men above me. Are we having some connectivity issues? Yeah, it's all good. And it says, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Yeah, when you have all those things, there's nothing wrong with having nice things. There's nothing wrong with, being educated. There's nothing wrong with driving a nice car and wearing nice clothing. But those things cannot make you, those things aren't the things that make you who you are, man. You got a precept. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Precept. 1 Peter 5:5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yet all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
Good night. Give him a hand. That's a good precept there. That boy been studying. So likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder, man. When you come into the school, you come as a child, man. You have to be childlike because you don't know a damn thing. You don't know anything. You have to be retaught everything. You got to be retaught how to walk, how to talk, what to eat, who to sleep with, man, who not to sleep with, how to dress. Go ahead. Oh, here we go. Can we get through this precept? No, so like you say Hebrews 5:12. Hope y'all writing these precepts down, man. Officer Batazar wanted here on fire. He's heating up. You don't know nothing about that. That's NBA Jam right there. Say, yea, all of you be subject one unto another. How are you subject one unto another? We're responsible for one another, man. We are literally responsible for one another. You can't stand idly by and watch your brother, make grave mistakes through foolish decisions. You see a brother, that's out of pocket, or he's not, walking circumspect to these laws. You see a sister doing things that she shouldn't be doing. You need to go to them D&D alone, man. Check yourself. All right. That's the value of brotherhood. That's the importance of us gathering ourselves together. You just checking yourself. If you stay at home, you by yourself all the damn time. You don't want to come to no events. How are you subjecting yourself one to another? If you don't want to come to the Passover, you don't want to come to the feast days or the high holy days. You don't want to come to class. You don't check in. We don't see you liking, subscribing, commenting on any of the social media. How are you going to be in the city and you don't follow the city that you're in? Make that make sense.
That's right.
and be clothed with humility. It's intensely imperative that you are humble, man. That's your garment. That's your covering, to be humble, not to be exalted, not to be prideful and think you're something when you absolutely not nothing. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ, what's up? Yeah, we got to be clothed with humility. Why? It says, "For the Most High resisteth the proud." The Most High, like he doesn't hear sinners' prayers, he resisteth the proud. You setting yourself up for failure with that foolish pride, man. Foolishness and pride go hand in hand. Now, when we talk about pride, there's a duality to it. We're not talking about the carnality of being prideful, because you being an Israelite, that's something to be proud of. That's something to literally take pride in being an Israelite, and recognizing what your ethnic origin, what your background is. You see every other nation, they're proud of being what they are. The Americans are proud of being American, even though they come from somewhere else. The Chinese man, he is proud of being a Chinese man. The East Indian, they're proud of that red dot and smelling like feces. They're proud of that. You being so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, take pride in that, man. And that's when you exalt these laws, statutes, and commandments. You hold those in high esteem. You honor this. That's a different type of pride, man. All right? And it says, "For the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble." What is grace? The water. I'm Gucci. What is grace? Not God is good, not God is great, God is good, and we thank him for food. No, that's not what grace is. Grace is just a very short time period for yourself to get right, man. You ever had a phone bill or a light bill, and you kind of get behind on it, and you'll call down and ask for a grace period until you can get the money together, man. You can get that money up so that you can pay that bill, so you can make everything right. If you're prideful, why would you give someone that's prideful any type of grace? You call down there being big, bad, and bold on the phone. Oh, Salakia. And with that, I'm going to pass the class off to Captain of 13,009 Thought, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, Shalom Akim.
Yeah,
You have a shirk thumb. You know what I mean? Give yourselves a hand. I know you're all exhausted. You know what I mean? Give yourselves a hand. You know what I mean? To all the sisters, all the brothers, you know what I mean, that help out, you know what I mean, host the first cookout for the season. You understand? The next one on the list is Chicago. Chicago, I believe, is the July what? I forget what it is. If it's July
31st to the 3rd out of one?
31st to the 3rd, right,
Come
of
on.
August. You know what I mean? So y'all prepare yourself. You know what I mean? Let's go support Chicago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With
right.
their cookout also too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You should, you know what I mean, be proud of what you all, you know what I mean, accomplish here with this cookout. You know what I mean? Lord will we get some more. You know what I mean? And push on. For the new school, man, it look, you know what I mean, look real good. Look real good. Good and strong. You understand? All right. No. Where we at? So we have a couple of things I want to look at. I mean, unless you all have any questions. And the two things I want to look at is one, I want to look at the give me the story with a young brother who injured himself. All right. Who injured himself with playing with firecracker. You understand? And then give me and we go into those flood. You all saw the flood that took place in I think is in Texas. Right. I want the city it took place in, and Tabo wants to give me the demographic. All right.
Okay.
and what they're saying about it. I believe they're trying to pass the blame off of on Doge for how they got the certain cities and state or federal, certain federal jobs. And I think the meteorologists positions on them for different cities get hit hard with it too. All right. So you get into all of that. Now, any questions? You all have any questions? If not, let's start with the weather, right? Natural disaster. Give me Isaiah 28 and 2. Give me Isaiah 28 and 2. Who gonna read from me today?
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
As if you would like, I could read.
Okay. The young man there? Young man
Okay.
G. Let young man G do it. Two other ayah.
Okay.
Come on. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm.
Right. Now, remember what the Bible say about the Lord. The Lord wants to do what for his people? He wants to do what? What's it myth?
Salakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He wants us to be placed in the rulership role.
You correct. But what's the myth they have on the Lord when it comes to the Most High power? What's the myth?
That he loves everybody.
Yeah, that's the myth. That he loves everybody. You understand? But when you open the Bible, it contradicts what the oppressor say, what your Christian pastor say. All right? It contradicts it. Why? Because you celebrate the Passover. And the Passover is about the unaliving of who? Of your enemies. The Egyptians at that time. Like today. Who are your enemies today? Your number one enemy is your oppressor. But your enemies today is anybody who's not on that 12 tribe sign. Those are your enemies today. You understand? That's why when you read Psalms 83, it speaks about all these nations that they confederate against thee. And the Lord wants to destroy all these nations. That's why you're seeing these wars coming up. And these nations know that this war that they're going to fight is the last war they're going to fight. And what are they doing? They're trying every diplomatic way to what? To not go to war. America started what? Pulling their troops out of Afghanistan, saying we're going to leave the Middle East. And then they had to go what? Right back in. You understand? Somebody saying something? All right. All right.
I'm doing a mic check right now in favor of Salakia.
Okay. Yeah. So we had to. They had to go right back into the Middle East, and now there's a ton of negotiation had to be taking place. Why? So that they don't go to war, because their scholars already read the Bible and they know that the First World War, that war that cometh, is the final one. Is the one to decide who's going to rule the entire earth. And it seems as if what? Black people will never, ever be in rulership. That's what it seems like. You understand? Now, read.
As a flood of mighty waters overflowing.
Right? As a what?
As a flood of mighty waters overflowing.
And remember, what did the Lord promise in Genesis when it comes to water?
Salakia.
Come on.
He said that he wouldn't flood the earth again.
And when I say he wouldn't flood the earth again, what you mean?
I mean, like you know, in the story of Noah, how he flooded everything and basically unalive, you know, those who he didn't want You know, he made a. I thought he made a covenant and put a bow in the sky, and that was supposed to be the promise of him not flooding the earth like that again.
When they say like that, you're dancing around. When it
To
says
that
like
magnitude, to the magnitude of that.
right, so in other words, when the Lord flooded the earth, right, he destroyed the earth with what? With
the water.
With water, right? The entire earth. That's why he told Noah to go get what? 2 animals, right? Pair. Then he tell him go what? Go get these clean animals. Go get these unclean animals. Right? But that doesn't mean he ain't gonna flood certain parts of the earth. You understand? That's why you're reading about it right now. Like they like to call what happens. What do they call what's going on right now? What there's a name Esau gives it. 2 names.
Salakia, is a natural disaster.
Look up that. Look up the definition of a natural disaster. And what's the other name to give to it? What's going on right now? Come on. You'll forget.
Salakia, I don't. Is it global warming? I don't know.
Salakia.
No. Come on.
Like disaster, catastrophe, or a damn, I had the word right on my mind. I lost it.
So natural disaster, and what did it say? You ever hear the term mother what?
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature, correct. Right. And when you say these things, natural disaster and Mother Nature, what are you doing?
Salakia, you taking credit away from the Most High.
Yeah, you're taking all the credits away from the Most High. Right? Right. That's correct, Patricia. Right? Next time the earth is gonna be destroyed, it's by fire. You're correct, sis. You're correct. It's in the Bible, and they know it. They know them bombs, you know what I mean, is fire. They'll talk about nuclear, if a nuclear war gets started. Brother, that is, you know what I mean, ridiculous. And the type of bombs they have right now is way more powerful than the Fat Man and the other one that they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So they know this earth gonna be destroyed by fire, and they're trying not to go there with it, but the Lord wants it to go there. Don't listen to your pastor who try to tell you that the Lord don't want war on the earth. To pray for peace. Pray for peace. You understand? You've been praying for peace. We can't get peace in the household. Your mother arguing with daddy arguing with mommy. The children arguing with the parents. There ain't no peace in the house. But you want peace on the earth?
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
A scripture that goes along with Isaiah 28. This is 2nd Ezra 6:18.
No, hold on. I asked for something.
Salakia, sir. Khan Wakan. This the Google definition of natural disaster. A natural event such as a flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss of life.
Right. So then, in no way they're saying this is likened to what? This is from the Lord. In no way. They're saying. Right? They're taking that away. But it lets you know it's what? Read it one more time.
A natural event such as a flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss of life.
Good. And they're saying it's natural. It's a natural event. Is that natural for a place to flood? How fast did they say this place flooded in Texas? You all know?
Salakia.
Come on.
Salakia, my lord. They said that the water rose 27 feet in a matter of minutes.
In 45 minutes, correct.
And Salakia also, sir, they said that they got 3 months of rain in like 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And how much of y'all know they had to rescue some people in Durham recently? Yeah, look down. Look down. The Lord trying to, show us signs. You know what I mean? But we drunk, with these philosophy of these religions. We drunk with it. You understand? And we depending, and Esau has this nation so locked in. And when I say locked in, meaning it's almost to the point where they take over from your leaders. All right? And when I say they take over from your leaders, what do I mean? What are your leaders supposed to do?
Salakia, sir.
When it comes to the nation.
If I may, sir, their first responsibility is to protect the people.
Right. And how would they protect the people? How would your leader protect the people?
Well, a righteous leader would lean on the word of the Lord in ISUPK, but in the world, they're going to watch the weather forecast and, presume that everything is going to be all right until the last minute.
Okay, I'll take that. We got to give him a little more. Wait, what's your leader supposed to do? Come on, Kowal.
Warn the people.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Warn the people. And I'm looking for protect. And how do you protect your people? By warning them of the power the Lord have. You understand? Warning them that the Lord don't play. You understand? Like you as a black leader, you are supposed to go up there like what we do on the weekends and throughout the whole entire week by what? Warning our people. If we don't obey God, we will be caught up in these disasters. You understand? These act of as Nadayab say, an act of God. You understand? Be caught up in. So now Esau, he uses his what to claim that he protecting people. But he's actually hiding you or hiding the Lord work and then taking and then telling you it's a natural disaster or Mother Nature. Give me Mother Nature first. Who Mother Nature for me? All right, I'm gonna look it up. Come on.
Mother Nature is a personification of nature, often depicted as a nurturing, life-giving woman. It represents power, beauty, and cyclical nature of the natural world. The concept has deep roots in various cultures, with origins in ancient Greek mythology and Roman mythology. Gaia, Greek mythology, and Terra Mater for the Roman mythology.
You understand? Like they're not giving what? The credit to the Lord. Power. That's the Lord power is saying there. But they will call it what? A natural disaster. They'll call it Mother Nature. You understand? When this is the Lord doing it. Give me Isaiah. Give me to Isaiah. I think it's 45. All right, 45 and 2. Young man, G. Give me that. Isaiah 45. Hold the way at right there right now and go to Isaiah 45.
Khan. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 2.
No, hold on. Don't go to verse 2.
Oh.
Skip down to 7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Khan.
Sorry, sat at 5.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lord, and there is none else.
Right, there's none else. There's no mother nature. There's none else. He's saying, I am the Lord. Nothing else. Right? Nothing. No being beneath the earth called Lucifer. You understand? Satan. Right? You say, I am the Lord and none else. Read on.
There is no God besides me.
There's no God beside me. None. There's no Gaia. And what's your other one name? Balthazar one? Terra?
Shiva?
No. What she just read?
So like I said, it's a Terra matter for the
Terra. Yes.
God.
Right? There's none else. So all these gods that they're making up, these things are what? Myth. They're not real. And if you read the Bible, you'll understand it's not real. Just like you go to church on Sunday and black people don't even know they're worshiping what? The sun on what? Sunday. They think it's just they worship, they're going to church on Sunday. When it's more than that the oppressor have you doing. It's just like with Christmas. You think you're celebrating the birth of who? Jesus Christ. But you're not. You celebrating, what's his name?
Cesar Borgia.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Santa Claus.
No.
Nimrod.
His birthday.
Nimrod.
That's who you're celebrating. Nimrod. But we don't know these things because when you go to church doesn't give you any type of background when it comes to the Bible. Church turns the Bible into, just a book that you read at the side, but then the pastor, he gonna give you the doctrine of whatever religion you're in, but the Bible is second. You understand? That's why most of this religion, when you start opening the Bible and you start coming up against what they're speaking, their congregation is like, well, you can't do what? What does the congregation tell you? Or members in the congregation tell you?
Salakia, don't ask no questions.
They do say that, make that statement, but they say something else. That's very evil. That's very, very evil. No. You heard, come on.
I know they say to each his own, which is a really wicked thing to say.
Okay, not so much to each his own, right? Remember, they have the Bible just like you have the Bible. But what's the difference between us and them?
Salaki, sir.
Salaki, sir. If I may.
Come on, Yanaza.
Is that we go by the word of God and they go by the precepts of men.
I'll take that, but I wanted a little more simple. What you saying is on point, Yanaza. You're on point. Come on.
They lie on the Bible, period. That's it.
I'll take that.
Right?
What Joe Penalty said, they say nobody knows the truth. That's along what Yanaza, what you were saying. But just a statement, an evil statement they also make. They say what? You can't believe in everything in the Bible. That was written what? 2,000 years ago. You ever hear a Christian tell you that?
Khan.
Yeah, the Christian, they tell you that. You can't believe in everything in the Bible. That's why, because the doctrine they're learning is not aligning with what is in the Bible. It's not aligning with what's in the Bible. Because you tell your congregation, God is all love, But when you open the Bible, it's conflicting. You understand? And that's where Yaniza comes in and said what? They believe in what? The
The
precept of
precepts
men.
of men.
Yeah. They believe in doctrines, you mean, concocted by men. They believe in religion. And the Bible ain't about that. You understand? Is either it's going to be is either is the truth or what? A lie. Black or white. There's nothing in between when it comes with the Lord. The Lord calls that what? In between, he calls it what? What does the
Salakia,
Lord
sir.
call it? Come on.
Lukewarm.
Lukewarm. You understand? Lukewarm. You understand? All right. Now, somebody holding something for me. So we got natural disaster. We got Mother Nature, right? Now, skip to I think Isaiah 45, right?
Come.
Right. Read that last part of 5.
I guarded thee, though thou hast not known me.
He what?
I guarded thee, girded,
Mhm.
Salakia, girded thee,
Mhm.
though thou hast not known me.
What does it mean to gird? When does the Lord say girded thee? What does that mean?
Salakia, sir.
Come on, look up girded.
Protect you.
Hold on. Come on.
To cover.
Right. You understand? As I saying, protect. The Lord done gird you. Right? How did the Lord gird you? What did the Lord gird you with? Do not say the blood of
Salakia, sir.
Jesus. All right. Don't say that. But come on.
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
That's funny. The Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, and what we should and shouldn't do, and to be
Yes.
separated from the other nations.
Yes. He tell you who to marry. He tell you who not to marry. You understand? The Lord tell you what to eat, what not to eat. The Lord tell you how to cut your hair, how to, how to separate yourself from these heathens. Remember, as the simple thing as circumcision. Do you all know what the medical field is saying about circumcision right now?
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
I believe you said the medical what, sir?
What the medical field is saying, that like the prophet in having your son circumcised.
Okay, Salakia. So I'm not sure what the medical field is saying, but I do know that there's a lot of controversy around it. I know that some people are saying it's mutilation. That is wrong.
Yes.
You know, you shouldn't do it, but I'm not sure what the medical field is saying. Salakia, sir.
Right. So
Salakia.
look at that. Come on.
Salakia, they got some pros and cons. It says it can prevent foreskin infections and phimosis condition. Salakia. A condition where the foreskin cannot be pulled back. Circumcision can lead to a lower risk of some sexually transmitted infections, including HIV.
Yes.
However, it is much less effective against the STIs of sexually transmitted infections common in the U.S. The HIV risk reduction is minimal. Salakia.
Right. Well, you all know that the white man was paying for them Africans to get circumcised because of all the AIDS that was spreading. You understand? In Africa, they were doing all the. You go look it up and see what was the big uproar with America pulling aid. You know what I mean, one of them is that surgery of circumcision. You understand? Like the Lord know what He's doing when He deals with us. Like He's totally separating us from them. Totally. And those laws that we have, it separates us from these other nations. Give me that in Deuteronomy. I think it's Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Like these scriptures, don't take it for granted. Though it seems what the Bible what we call what milk. Your everyday Christian, you know what I mean? They what I call it, lactose intolerant. You understand? They can't take this milk. They can't take it. You understand? You know what I mean? They will have verbal diarrhea dealing with these milk scriptures are. You understand?
So like I said, I got Deuteronomy 4 and 6. If
Come
you want
on.
me to.
Come on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
And that's it. And just check and see every nation right now that is trying to take a piece of your culture, some of your laws, they mess it all the way up. You understand? These Arabs talking about they're going to get a virgin and taking what? A 9-year-old. Go talk to Muhammad. You understand? When that ain't you taking, you know what I mean? That is what we call what? That's what? That's abuse, child abuse. You understand? They said the woman should dress modest, and now they take what? The hijab and everything and cover the face. Everything. The whole thing. Mess the whole thing up. You understand? And then they'll talk about the so-called oppressor. He takes your way of life, your culture, in which the Lord separates you from certain nation, and now he's doing what? He's killing babies, unaliving babies, unaliving, you know what I mean, women. You understand? Willfully. Right? And then quoting scripture about Amalek. You understand? Like they take it and they go totally left field with it. But these laws, if we do it, these other nations gonna be like, this is a wise and understanding nation. You understand? Just like your parents, just like your uncles and aunts. After a while, you saying the truth, and they start to watch you grow. You know what I mean, and blossom into, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, as a beautiful sister in the truth. You understand? A mighty warrior in the truth. They're gonna watch you and be like, yeah, this brother wise, this sister wise. You understand? But that's supposed to be for them other nation, for us to sit back and watch us and say, yeah, we wise. You understand? Like a manager. Come on.
I don't mean to cut you off, but you say something real heavy, because we look up to the so-called oppressor and these other nations like they're so great, but they don't know that pegging is not a thing. Like we shouldn't be doing that.
That's
or
right.
sleeping with animals, or man and man and woman, and those types of things. Like we the ones really supposed to be telling them, yo, this, you do this and you do that, but it's in reverse. So like,
that's it. You understand? Now go back to young man. Read verse. You can continue from verse 6.
Colin Wakan. This book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none besides me.
There's what?
There is none besides me.
There's none beside the Lord. You understand? We the nation that serve what? One God. We're not like the Romans and the Greek that have tons of different gods. You understand? The Muslim had over 365 gods. Don't talk about the East Indians. You understand? The East Indian has more God than days of the year. Ark. You understand? And then you have the Chinese who believe in what? Buddha. The Asians. You understand? We have one power, one, which is the Most High. And he's explaining to you through Isaiah that there's nobody sitting, there's nobody what? There's nobody what?
There is none besides me.
None beside me, meaning what? Nobody's what? There's no what?
There's no one else.
So like I said,
Come on.
there's no one with him, meaning there's no one above him, no one equal to him. He's the ultimate power. That's it.
Okay, so when Christians bring in Satan, what are they trying to say Satan
Salakia.
is to the Lord? Come on.
They saying that he's equal to the Lord. Like he fought the Lord and just so happened to lose. Salakia.
Okay.
So like I said,
Come on.
that he's an adversary to the Most High God,
Meaning what? Okay, just
an
think.
enemy.
Okay, yes, you're correct. But think this. That's what the Christians say, correct. Okay. You have different food outlets, right? Yeah, KFC. Let's take KFC and Burger King, right? If Burger King says, or let me use Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A say there's no one else that sells chicken like me. What are they saying?
Salakia.
Uh-huh.
They're saying that they're the best.
And that there's what?
And
saying
there's no competition. There's no one
That-
equal or even
That's
close.
it. That's it. There's nobody competing for position of being God. There's no competition. You understand? None whatsoever. He's saying there's none beside me. Ain't nobody fighting. Ain't no Hades and you know what I mean whatever other Greek god and they fighting for dominance over the earth. Ain't no Satan and ain't no Most High power, and now they're fighting for dominance over the earth. There's none beside me. There's no competition. You understand?
So like,
Come on.
so like that's heavy right there. And if you look at it like from just a black or so-called black standpoint, you know that's some real nigga shit. He said they ain't messing with me. They ain't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know how when we get to talking about sports and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and they're like, man, ain't nobody saying Jordan.
Right.
Ain't nobody saying Kobe.
Mm-hmm. Yep, correct. That's why when you read the story on the Tower of Babel, what was Nimrod trying to have the people do? Build a tower to do what? To go fight the Lord. And the Lord had to show you there's no competition and destroy that movement. You understand? And then today they're trying to do what? Build it back, trying to get that tower to go what? Fight the Lord again. They didn't learn the lesson. These heathens don't learn the lesson now. They don't learn. You understand? Black people know when they see something, they know by instinct, by nature, that is the Lord. You understand? Come on.
I have a question on topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you say that the heathens, because they have done so much evil on the earth and they have gotten away with it for so long, and you know they know who we are, the Lord's chosen people, and we are not able to come out of the darkness that we are in, you know what I mean, quote unquote, they have the churches, they have all this religion. You think that as a result of that, they just think like, you know what, I don't even really believe that these people are they're gonna, this is what's gonna happen to them. I don't believe that nobody's gonna crack the sky. So to hell with that, we're gonna go ahead and do what we do, exalt ourselves, and where we end up, we end up. Is that a safe statement to make, Salaki?
Okay, yes, it's somewhat on it. And the precept that I want is going to, you know, hit the nail on the head. And you all know what precept am I going to ask for?
Isaiah chapter 12, 14 and 12.
What does that say?
12. They that narrowly look on thee shall say, is this the man that caused the earth to tremble?
No, not that one.
Come on.
Not that one. There's one where I think is an Ammonite told his king that if these people don't worship their God, come on.
Yeah, Jude chapter 4. I'm gonna get it for you right now. So like I said.
Anybody know what we're talking about?
Know what you're talking about? So you talking about when the Amalekites, it was like we can get them to, disobey their God won't be with them or won't fight for them.
Yes, he told them, if the Lord with them, the Lord with them, do not go fight them. You see, you better not go fight them. You understand? These other heathens know, the Lord not with us. Why? How they know the Lord not with us as a nation? Come on.
So like it, sir.
Okay.
Because they have gotten us to follow after every other false god in the earth.
And because of that, so okay. I want you to hit it all the way home.
So like it, sir.
Come on, Baptist, one.
They know that our God is not with us because we're not with our God.
How?
They know that our God's not with us because we follow their gods. Salaki.
We're not Salaki, sir. We're not obedient to our God. We're not following the culture that God gave us.
I want you all to paint the picture for black people today. You know the Lord not with us.
Salaki, sir.
Come on.
So like, you were talking about Judith 5 and 20.
I don't think it's in Jude. Read it from me. Let me see if that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Come
on.
Judith chapter 5 and verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they
That's
sin
it.
God.
That is it. Continue.
Come on. And they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
And that's it. And then they know that if they keep us in these religion, they keep us believing in what? Voting, in democracy, capitalism, keep us in believing in America. Right? Read it one more time.
Come on. Book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us
a sin. Like, for you to know what a sin is, you have to understand what? We'll have to understand. We'll have to understand.
So like I said, our place with the Most High, and what he, like one of the brothers said earlier on, the culture that he gave us.
No, you make it simple. What's a sin?
Obey the Most High.
What's a sin?
So like it, sir.
Come on.
Trespassing against the law, breaking the law.
Breaking the law is a sin. You have to say that. You have to, because black people are taught in the Christian church that what?
It's like the laws are done away with.
Yes. So you're going to have to say sin is the transgression of the law. That's in the Bible. You understand? Remember what you're learning here. You want to make sure that you don't box yourself in. You want to box them in. You understand? So everything that coming out your mouth is you're going to have to be able to do what?
So like I said, confound everything that they bring up.
Right, but you're going to have, for you to do that, you're going to have to do what?
So like I said, study.
You're going to have to make it simple. Make it simple, meaning this. You're going to have to open the Bible and show them what you're saying is in the Bible. You understand? Make it simple. That's why I'm asking you the questions. How do you know the Lord is not with black people as a nation? How
So
do
like
you
so,
know? Come on.
because we transgress the laws of God every day.
Now, listen to what I'm
Salakia.
asking. Come on.
Salakia. Because we suffering.
That's it. Now, once you say we're suffering, now you could go into we live in the ghettos. You understand? Who protecting our women? Who protecting our kids? You understand? We there's abortion. Hold on, one minute. I think what's his name? If you remember, Salaki, Batazawan, he was going to say something. I didn't hear what you say.
His mic bad. I don't want.
Mm-hmm. Come closer to the mic.
Salakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm about to hand the mic.
Okay. Come on, man. Baptist, I want to use that outside voice.
Salakia, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Khan, sir. Now they know the Lord's not with us because we're in hell now. If the Lord was with us, we'll be out of this hell.
We'll be in the position of the position that the white man is in right now in rulership. You understand? They know that the Lord not with us based on how we're living, based on how black people are living in America and throughout the entire earth. You could imagine the earth knows that the Issacharites, they're black. They just speak what? Spanish. They know it. We're just like them. Every other nation could see the way they're treating the Latinos, the way they're treating the Native the Native, right? The First Nation people and black people is the same across the board. You understand? And when you hear black people trying to say we got treated worse than the Native Indians, that black person has no how to put it. He has no
Like I said,
come on,
compassion.
not so much compassion, but there's no link to the Native Indian being family. There's no link. You understand? When you could say, we as black people, we suffer the more than the Latinos. You don't even know the Latinos, your brothers. You don't even know that the First Nation people is your brothers. You don't know it. So now you try to separate yourself or your tribe from the other tribes. You understand?
It's like,
and these other nations, they know once they have that division, that's why they did what? They divided us up. They didn't just divide the earth up enough. They divided us up. They divided the Judites, they divided the Benjamites, they divided the Haitian, divided the Simeon. They divided all the nations up. So now some of us speak what? Spanish. What some language we speak?
Salakia, sir.
Uh-huh.
We got you got Spanish.
Uh-huh.
You got what is it, Creole?
Mm-hmm.
You got French.
Uh-huh.
And Mandarin.
Patois.
Yeah. So just think all the language on the earth, right? But the main ones I would say is what? Spanish, French, English, and Portuguese. The main ones on this side. You understand? But when the Lord did scatter us, what? Throughout the entire earth. But I'm talking about these four main ones that's on this side, on the west side, where we are, is French, Spanish, English, and Portuguese. You understand? Now, where in the Bible that happened?
Salakia.
Mhm.
Is it Genesis chapter 11?
Tell me what. Give me it. You know what I'm talking about? Where this happened? Where did they use language? Where was language used to divide the people?
Salakia
Mm-hmm.
in Babel.
The Tower of Babel. You think these devils don't know that language divide your people? So now, if you are brother, you speak in Spanish, and I am I learn English from the Englishman. How the hell we communicating? The only way we gonna have to communicate, we're gonna have to look in that Bible and say what? Yo, we brothers, and we have a common enemy. The Spaniards who are white, and then you have the Englishmen who are white. They're we enemies. And they're the ones that are dividing us as a people. That's why you have black people in America saying what? That the Issacharites, that's not our fight. Because this we're being separated by language. We're not being separated by, we're not separating. Like if you had to go on and look at how the police deal with Issacharites and how the police deal with black people, will there be a difference? There's no difference. You understand? There's no difference with how the police treat the Issacharites and the blacks. There's no difference how the American government treat the blacks and the Hispanics. There's no difference. And the Native Indians also too. There's no difference. The only difference is
So
that
like I said,
language. Come on.
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't want. I don't know if you saw ICE. You know, they defrost now. You know, they went after the Haitian community and they got their tail whooped into oblivion. Salakia.
Or the Haitians and them, they physically fought them.
Yeah, can't even women drag ICE agents off of their brothers and sisters. Yeah, whoop their tail. I'm telling you.
Damn, somebody had to get pulled that up for me, man. I had to see that. We had to get that. Right? Now, what's your brother name?
Salakia.
Young Man G. Come on.
Yeah. So that the precept is in Genesis 11 and 9.
Come on, read it.
Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
Don't ever think your oppressor or your enemy and read your book and learn how to use it against you. It's no different than you going and do a debate against someone. When you go do a debate against someone, what do you do? What do? You had to study your enemy. Study the weakness of your enemy and zone in on that weakness. You understand? Ain't no different. Your oppressor sat down, opened the Bible, and saw where the Lord did these things and decided to what? Implement it on us as a nation. Why? Because at one time, Issachar spoke what? Hebrew. At one time, Judites, Benjamites, all 12 tribes spoke what?
One language.
Hebrew.
You
understand?
Lucky.
We spoke Hebrew. You understand? That's why we call ourselves what? The Hebrew Israelites. You understand? Call ourselves the Hebrew Israelite. So now we reading this Bible, and now this Bible is what's going to do what? Bring the 12 tribes back together. Remember, that's what you read about when what they call what the Christian call it, the prodigal son. When Christ was given the parable of what? Of Israel joining together with what? Judah. Israel, the Hispanics, and the Native Indians, right? The Latinos. And Judah being what? Benjamin, Judah, and who? The Haitians. You understand? And joining back together. That was Christ That's what he came to do. You understand? But now your oppressors, they already studied it and knew that that was the case. You understand? Give me 1 minute.
Check, check. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Everybody that's tuned in at home, like, share, subscribe to the page. The water for being in the class.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Tawada. You know what I mean? Tawada. Thought I was growing feathers after this cookout. The chicken was delicious. You know what I mean? Was delicious.
So, like you said,
Come on.
Damn right.
Salaki, I didn't mean to interrupt you on the chicken thing. I just have the precept on what you were just talking about just now.
Come
with
on.
The nations knowing that, yeah, come on. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's
Keep
it. They
going,
know.
sir.
You already you said it all the same day, unless there's more. Come on.
Come, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Salaki.
Yeah, that's it. Right? And they know it. And they know all they have to do is keep on pumping that porn, keep on pumping, you know what I mean, these sports, playing these, you know what I mean, giving all these athletes a ton of money, you know what I mean, pushing a ton of money in the community, and also to buying out your leaders. You know what I mean, giving them a ton of money to have the Rolls Royces, the jets. You understand? They know it. That's all they have to do. You know what I mean? And now the Lord always, when Israel is in that type of disarray, what does the Lord do to get Israel back on track?
Salaki, sir.
Come on, Yanazar.
He sends a prophet.
He sends prophets. You understand? And we send prophets with weapons? No, he just sent them with a Bible. You understand? With his words. Remember, Jonah didn't want to go do it. You understand? Because he didn't want to look like a fool with him saying what the Lord is going to do if they don't do what the Lord said to do. You understand? He knew the Lord was not going to harm them. He knew that if they changed their ways. And he didn't want to look like, you know what I mean, like he was given a false flag. And the Lord had to break it down to him. You know what I mean? The Lord is like a father, man, a good father. You know what I mean? Who wants to see a wicked son turn what? What does the Lord want? You know what I mean?
Salaki, sir.
Come on.
He wants obedient children.
He wants obedient children, correct. I'll take that. But the Lord would rather you what?
Sir?
Come on.
Be righteous.
Yes. Precept. Give me the precept in Isaiah. You know what I'm talking about? Isaiah 18. Or I think it's, hold on. Let's see, 23.
I got Psalms.
No, but there's one in Isaiah where he tells you, where he says he would rather, I don't know if it's Isaiah or what, it's in the Old Testament. He would rather you change from a wickedness. Like the Lord does not want to unalive you. But he'll rather you change from your evil. He'll rather you do that. All right. Now somebody find that for me, but young man G. Read the finish reading Isaiah where you get to verse 7.
Kind of the bottom of 6 was it say I am the Lord and there is none else. Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
I form the light and create darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I make peace and I create evil.
Mm-hmm.
I, the Lord, do all these things.
I, the Lord, do what?
All these things.
The Lord do all these things. So don't think when you see a flooding and people dying, it's Mother Nature. It's Satan. It's not. It's the Lord judgment being put on this earth. You understand? It's no different than you seeing a brother with his hands. You seen a picture with a brother with his hand, you understand, blown off. You understand? Like these things are signed for you, not signed for you to what ridicule your brother or sister who get caught in that judgment. Now ain't the time for that. That's the time for us to recognize that our brothers and sisters, that could have been me or you in that situation if we didn't have the knowledge we have. You understand?
So like it, sir.
Yeah, yes, sis, that's correct. Come on, sister, Patricia. I'll pronounce the name correctly. All right. Yes, the Lord wants you to come back to Him. Correct. Come on,
So like,
Athan.
oh, come on. So like, sir, was the precept you're referring to Ezekiel 18 and 23?
That's it. I thought it was Isaiah, but go ahead, read it.
Come on, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and verse 23.
Mhm.
Have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die?
Has he any pleasure that the wicked should die? Right? And when he said the wicked, meaning the wicked of his people. And who is a wicked person? A wicked person is a person who don't want to do none of the laws the Lord put down for them, like your Christians. You think the Lord wants these Christians to be put in the dirt, your brothers and sisters, to get put in the dirt? No, he does not. And you read on and you'll see. Read on.
Come. Said the Lord, thy power,
Mhm.
and not that he should return from his ways and live.
So he wants him to do what?
Return from his ways and live.
He wants you to return from your ways and live. You understand? Just like so many of us before we walk through that door, all of us at one point in time had a pork knuckles in your mouth. And nobody could have tell you nothing about, you know what I mean, eating that pig foot, eating that pigtail. It brought flavor to that food, you know what I mean? So you taught in the world until you walk through them doors. And guess what? You had to do what? Give it up. You had to give it up. Why? Because now you are turning from your what? Your wicked ways. You understand?
So like, sir.
Come on.
Can I read verse 24?
Yeah, for sure. Come on.
Come. Verse 24. But when the righteous has turned away from his righteousness and committed iniquity, and doth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doth, shall he live?
Right? He's saying, shall he live? So shall a righteous man who now stop being righteous, start doing evil things, go into the world, you understand? Start getting pegged by his woman. Shall what? Shall he live? Because if he lives, guess what's going to happen? You got a lot of men getting what? Pegged. The Lord ain't having that. No. He's not. If you have a lot of these LGBTQ members living lives that is, you know what I mean, glorious, you know what I mean, to 100 and what, 2, you know what I mean, to, you know what I mean, to these ages, then guess what? The whole nation going what? Turn to it and be like, well, it's just fine, nothing happening. But no, the Lord plagues it with HIV, with sexually transmitted disease. He plagues it with violence. You understand? And I shouldn't say the Lord plagues it with violence, but these things, these violence and all the AIDS and stuff is to show us that the Lord don't want us having those lifestyle. You understand? The Lord give you cancer from smoking because he wants you to know that smoking is what? Wrong. He wants you to know it. He wants you to see that when you go marry another a woman from another nation, or a sister go marry a man from another nation, he wants examples like OJ. He wants examples like Tiger Woods. Give me some more examples.
Lamar Odom. So like I said.
Yeah. He want good. He want examples like Martin Luther King. You want examples. So now you could run down, brother. It ain't right to go get, you know what I mean, better you go get a sister. You understand? She will understand, you know what I mean, the problems that come up in your nation, in your culture. She will understand it. You understand? You get another nation, they don't understand black people culture. They don't understand, you know what I mean, what we go through as a people, as a nation. They don't have that empathy, that's, you know what I mean, that compassion that your people would have when they see the cops done, you know what I mean, commit a crime against a brother. You with some heathens, they're gonna tell you why you didn't just listen to the cops. You with some white woman or some white man, you know what I mean, or some African or some Chinese, they'll be like, you know what I mean, it will be, they will be non-sympathetic to what's going on to your people. So now, is the black woman mouth, you know what I mean, a nuclear bomb in the house? Yes. But guess what? You could come into the ICP. Can we show you how to deal with it, how to defuse that bomb? You understand? We'll show you how to, you know what I mean, what wire to nip. So that bomb don't go off in the house and kill everybody. And now the cops run up inside and everybody don't get, you know what I mean, you don't get hurt in the process. You in jail because of it. You come in here, you're gonna learn how to deal with that man. You understand? We're gonna learn how to deal with each other. Come on.
So like, yeah, I don't want, if I may,
Mhm.
we have a young man in the classroom tonight.
Go ahead.
His name is Young Man Omar, and he had a question, Adawan. Here he is.
Come on, bring it.
So I just wanted to ask, who is it that we serve?
Who was it that we serve?
Yes.
Pertaining to the Bible you're speaking about, right? Who we serve. That's the question he's asking, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was asking, who was it that we serve?
According to the Bible, we serve the Most High Power. All right. Go to where Christ said it, where he spoke about him. If you have seen me, you've seen the Father. All right. Okay. Somebody find that for me. Find them scriptures where Christ was saying that he is doing the job from the man that sent him, who is the Most High Power. That's who we serve. We serve the Most High Power. You understand? We follow Christ. Why do we follow Christ? Because Christ served the Most High Power. And he came down on earth as a man in the flesh to show us how to do it. That's why they call him what? The Son of what? God. Because he was the closest thing to the Most High Power. Because he did everything the Most High said. Anybody have it for me? But Baltazar one, you get it and read it.
Kind of a hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Come on.
It's John chapter 14, verse 9. So like I said.
Go ahead.
So like I say, it says, Jesus said unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?
Right. It's like is Philip telling Christ, well, Show me the Most High. Who do you serve? Christ. And Christ had to tell him, yo, you didn't see the work I doing? I'm doing what? I'm performing miracles. You understand? I'm healing people. I raised Lazarus from the dead. I do all this, and you're still asking who I serve? And Christ had to tell him, yo, you seen me, you seen who? The Father. You understand? That's why we say what? Use this precept to also show that what? God is a what? A black man just like me and you. Christ is what? Black. The angel's black. You understand? Right? Give me some more. Give me another one. Where Christ made reference to the Father. Who is Yahweh? And then give me where Moses went to the Lord and asked him what? What did Moses ask the Lord?
So like I said,
Mm-hmm.
your people want to know who you are and what's your name.
Give me
and
that.
The Lord told
Give me that.
Moses.
No, hold
Okay,
on.
come on.
Hold on. Get it for me. Get it for me. I'll pull that. Because black people in the Christian church, you understand, they don't know who they worship. They think they worship in the God of the Bible. They're not worshiping the God of the Bible. You are not going to be worshiping the God of the Bible until you walk through them doors in this school. Then you're going to understand what the Lord likes and what the Lord does not like. And you know you have to do what the Lord like. There's no in between. There's no choice. You don't have a choice in the matter. You don't. If there was a choice in the matter, why are black men getting AIDS? Why are black women getting AIDS? If there's a choice, if you could, you could sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. There's a choice. Then why you getting STDs? You understand? Why you're being born to a mother and father who is on drugs, opioids? Why? Now you're gonna have a lot of questions to ask, right? If you telling me there's a ton of Christian church going up and more black people are suffering, more Hispanics, more Native Indians. Come on.
I got another Salaki, the brother got another question. Go ahead.
No, hold on. Before the other question, give me the one with Moses.
Oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 3 and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of our fathers have sent me unto you.
You understand?
And
it's the same thing. The children is like, okay, well, Moses, okay, you say such and such is the case, right? That the Lord sent you and you, we out here in the wilderness, right? You know what I mean? Well, you take us from good life in Egypt. You brought us out in the cold. We hungry. You understand? Then, you know what I mean? Who will do this to us? Who will bring us out here? Read on.
Kanamokan, the God of our fathers have sent me unto you. And they shall say to me, What is his name?
What is his what?
What is his name?
What is his name? Okay, well, you know what I mean? Who we serve? What is this man name that we serve? And you say we serving. You say the God of our fathers. Read on.
Khan, what shall I say unto them?
And Moses asked the Most High, what shall I say unto them, your people? Not everybody, but your people. Read on.
Khan, Exodus chapter 3 and verse 14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Right? God was being what here? He was being sarcastic. Because how dare you question who God is? You understand? His people question who he was. The question, who the hell is him? Like you say is, I mean, the God of our fathers. Who the hell is the God of our fathers? You understand? Read on.
Another one, Khan. I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, I've sent me unto you. So,
right? Because the Lord was pissed off. The Lord just free you from your enemy. He just buried the Egyptian army beneath the sea, beneath that river. You understand? Make them relics. You understand? And now you're questioning who the hell he is. Read on. Does it say anywhere there where he says his name?
It's in another chapter. I'm about to get it for you right now. I don't want.
Come on. All right. So this is the Lord name. The Lord name is not Yahuwah, Yahweh. You understand? The Lord name is not that. Come on.
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
And he says his name in this very verse, and he says that's his name forever. He says his name is Yahweh, and that's his name forever in this very verse. That's what he says.
Khan, which verse you talking about?
3 and 15. Exodus 3 and 15.
Come on, read it.
Kind of what in the Hebrew, like in English, it says, the Lord, the God of your fathers, has sent thee. But in the Hebrew, it says, my name is Yahweh. That is my name forever. That's what it says in the Hebrew.
That's it. Tawada Yanaza. And that's the Lord name. The Lord name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. You understand? Yeah, get it? Tawada Yanaza. You understand? The Lord name is Yahweh. You can't say Yahweh. You can't say you saying Yahweh. He's not answering to that name. You understand? Right? Come on. Okay. So now, what's the other question? The young man have?
Yes, I was saying basically in the beginning of everything before I believe Christ or God was before he brought people on this earth. I was told basically he had a language and people on earth didn't know how to speak that language. So how did English come upon?
English, the English came upon us by the slave master. It's just like it's okay. The Bible, the Old Testament is written in what?
So like I said, in Hebrew.
In Hebrew. And the New Testament is written in what?
Greek.
In Greek. Right? Now, language, where did language came about? Young man G, where did language came about? The different language.
Salakia. The different language came in
when you first record of that different language coming in.
That was in Genesis. Let me get it for you. Salakia. Let me get it for you.
11 and 3.
Salakia.
Right? Genesis 11 and 3. A good question, brother, asking. You know what I mean? How we speak in English? Why we speak in English? Because just like your oppressor, he finds a way to just keep on fighting and destroying themselves. So guess what? The Spaniards, though they are white people, they speak what? Spanish. So in their mind, they're what? They're not associated with the British. They're not associated. Come on.
No, so like I had when the English language was a distinct language, and I also have Genesis 11.
Come on, give me the English. Give me that.
English as a distinct language emerged with the Anglo-Saxon invasion of Britain in the 5th century AD. The Germanic tribes, including the Anglo-Saxons and the Jews brought their language, which evolved into Old English. That was
Right.
around the 5th century, sir.
That's it. And now remember, okay, it's almost like what defines a nation? What defines your nation? The Israelites. What defines us?
Slugger.
Come on.
How we live our lives.
Okay.
Slugger, sir.
Come on.
Israel is defined by the law, statutes, and commandment. That defines who we are.
Oh, okay. Yes, but okay. There's something else that that goes with having a culture.
Language.
Yes, that's what defines a culture. We're the what? What do they call us? The Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew is a what? Language. Israelite is your what? Your nationality, your race, your ethnicity. You understand? So you're a Hebrew Israelite, meaning we speak what? Hebrew. That defines us. So now today, what do black men speak?
Salaki.
English. Right? So now, when you read Hebrew Israelite, or when you hear Hebrew Israelites, you are not going to what? Associate yourself with being what? An Israelite. Why? Because you don't speak what? Hebrew. Who speaks Hebrew or claims to speak Hebrew today? No, let a young man answer.
Small hats.
Oh, hold on. Let a young man answer. Young man, who speaks Hebrew today? Come on.
Yeah, this was Omar.
Young man Omar, who speaks Hebrew today or claims to speak Hebrew today?
The who?
Who claims to speak Hebrew today on the earth?
Not sure.
Okay. Who wants to help, young man?
Salakia. Small hats.
Yes, the so-called Israelis. Right, the so-called Israelis today, they call what? They call themselves Jewish. And they lay claim to it because they speak what? The holy tongue. Right? Hebrew. Which, for real, it's not Hebrew. You understand? It's a bastard language that is speaking, which is what? Yiddish. Which throws in what? The vowels. Now, they speak their form of whatever they call Hebrew, but that is not Hebrew. Hebrew does not have language those vowels in it. You understand? Their language is a mixture of what? Polish, Ukrainian, Russian, German. They throw that in, and you get what? You mix that in a pot, and what comes out? Yiddish. But they claim it's Hebrew. You understand? We speak English today. Why do we speak English today? Come on.
Because of our slave master.
That's all. That's it. We speak English today because the man who conquered us spoke English. You understand? And then the man who conquered us tried to tell us that our ancestors spoke what? Swahili. We weren't Africans. We're not Africans according to the Bible. Come on.
And that's why they hate black people speaking slang, because that's naturally us trying to get back to speaking our Hebrew language, and they can't stand slang because of that reason. We come out speaking Hebrew.
That's right. That's our natural language. 1 minute. And what you have to understand also too is when we spoke Hebrew, and then Yanazar, what's the other Hebrew?
So like I said, we have the ancient Hebrew, and we have the Assyrian Hebrew.
Right. And the Assyrian Hebrew came about by us being in captivity. And what we did was we tried to do what? We tried to do the same thing we're doing right now in America when we speak slang. You understand? Which is we try to come up with a language that me and you understand. That's totally different from the English the so-called white man is speaking. Which they call today is what? What do they call that today? What's the word given to that today?
It's called slang, sir.
Salakia,
Ebonics, but look up dialect. What's the definition of dialect? Give me the definition of dialect. Quick. I know we're coming up on it. We're up on the chime here now. Come on.
Dialect, a particular form of a language which is peculiar to a specific region or social group.
You understand? Which they refer to as more specific Ebonics, or what's the other term that you all said?
Slang.
Slang.
Right? Salakia, Lord. So I want to ask a question about Genesis 10 and 20. So this is after the flood, and it says these are the sons of Ham after their families, after their tongues, in their country and in their nation. So I know that when you come to Genesis 11 and 1, and they say and the whole earth was of one language and one speech.
What was that one language you were speaking?
This was Hebrew.
That's it.
My question is that when it say the sons of Ham after their tongues, is this dialect or?
Yes, tongue in the Bible means language. That's what it means. So that's why when you go into the New Testament and you hear about them speaking in tongues, it means that's a different language you're speaking in. That hashkala baba, hashkala bib, you know what I mean? How Abraham said, I'm coming in my Honda, some garbage like that. That ain't you speaking in tongues. Tongues is a language, meaning if I speak in a certain language, there must be a translation to what I'm saying. For example, if I say como te llama, I'm speaking what? Spanish. Right? But there's a translation for that in English, which means
what's your name?
Yes, that's a translation. You understand? So if I say hashkalaba, what translation? What am I speaking? I'm speaking nothing. You understand? Right?
Gibberish.
Yes, gibberish. But a tongue is a language you read it in the Bible. But the Christians and them try to make it sound like when you say hashkalabab, hashkalabeb, only the Lord can understand what you're saying. He doesn't understand what you're saying. He's looking down at you as being like you touched in the head. You're simple. You understand? He doesn't understand what you're saying. You understand? Right? Any more question, young man? I know we're coming up. We up on the time. Anybody keeping an eye out on the radio show?
Yeah, this is me again. I was saying, like, was that the language? Was Hebrew the same language that God was speaking?
Yes, God speaks Hebrew.
Gotcha.
That's the language God speak. Right?
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
Also, the angels speak Hebrew as well, as testified by Paul in Corinthians 13 and 1.
Go ahead, read it. Get it and read it quick.
So like they haven't started the show yet, sir.
Shabaya, let's keep an eye on it, right?
Okay.
All right. 1 Corinthians, what we at? 13 and 1?
13 and 1, sir.
Right.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men.
With the tongues of what?
Men.
Right? The tongues of men. The tongues of men is what?
The languages of men.
The languages of men. French, Spanish, English, Portuguese, Swahili. You understand? These are tongues of men. These are languages that men came up with. And there's a study in college where they will teach you how to come up with language. That's why when you watch certain TV shows, they they come up like with different people in the TV shows. They come up with language, and then below whatever the person's saying, you know what show comes to mind right now? You all ever see Game of Thrones?
What kind?
Right? They had a people call it Dothraki, right? They had their language. Now, when they're speaking in Dothraki, right, on the show, there's what subtitles for you to read in what English or what Spanish or French, right? There are people who study these things, and it's the same thing. They know that a language, you know what I mean, almost define you as, you know what I mean, your culture basically. So now, because we speak English, some of us think what? We American. You're not American. You understand? So because the Mexicans, they speak Spanish, they're Spaniards, they come from Spaniards. No. The Mexicans speak Spanish because they were conquered by the Spaniards. The Brazilians speak Portuguese because they were conquered by the Portuguese. The Haitians speak French because they were conquered by the French. You understand? Now you see where the language comes in and where it starts separating us. Right? Read on.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels.
And what?
And angels.
Meaning what? Meaning
So,
what? Meaning
okay, so he says that Paul says that he's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, and there's mention of him speaking Hebrew on several occasions, and so that the Most High also only communicated with Israel, so they had to speak the language of the Israelites in order to communicate with them.
Yes, you understand. Paul spoke what? That Roman language, and there was shock. I think is either when he spoke the Egyptian, right? That Egyptian language. So Paul knew different languages, and he knew what? Hebrew also too, right? I remember when it speaks about the Greek, right? When people hear Greek, they think more so what? When you hear the language of Greeks, what nationality comes to mind?
So, like I said, Edomites.
But when you go look for the Hellenist Greek in the Zondervan. Let's get that quick.
Salakia.
Zondervan.
I got one question. So I was also spoken to about the United States actually being the real Egypt.
United States being the real Egypt. You have a dollar in your pocket?
Yes.
Take the dollar off.
I found out about this, I'll say 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes. So do you have a dollar in your pocket?
It's in the car.
Anybody has a dollar in the pocket? In the school?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show the back of it.
All kinds of stuff.
Yes. What's on the back of it, young man? Omar, what's on the back of that dollar?
The pyramid.
No, where did you hear about the pyramid?
You said, what did I see on it?
No, where is associated with the pyramids?
It's supposed to be in Egypt.
And you're correct. It's in Egypt, right? No, we in America. But in America, do they have the Egyptian obelisk?
No.
Oh, have you ever
Got one con, sir.
So they do.
In DC.
Yes, in DC. Now, why do they have obelisks if we in America? Why do we have these things? Remember, what's his name? Like what America does, and this is them showing their pride. This is them showing their pride. And this, as the Bible says, is going to be their downfall. Because this is a very proudful nation. They have us in captivity. They knew who they have in captivity, and they're just dropping clues here. One of the clues is on the back of that dollar bill. What does the all-seeing eye of Ra has to do with America when they're not Egyptians? They're trying to tell you something. They're trying to tell their people something. They're communicating with their people. Come on.
So I was told that basically the pyramid stood for the people's way of getting out of debt. Back then, the peers, the people that was living back then that actually built the pyramid. Inside of that pyramid was supposed to be in gold, or they brought gold to the pyramid and they were free.
So now when they say that, when they say things like that, what are we not what are we going to forget? What are we not going to remember?
Salaki.
Now go to Exodus 50. I think it's 20 and give me where it says says Egypt is the house of bondage. Come on, Fayetteville. Come on. Find that for me. Right? Tabo one, you there?
Salaki, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear about this one. Hold on. Tabo one, you there behind the computer?
Come on, sir.
I want you to stick with me. What should be up on the screen right now?
Salaki, sir. If you said something, I missed it, sir. Salaki.
We're talking about Egypt and America.
Come on, sir.
So what should be up on the screen right now?
The obelisk, sir?
Obelisk, or show me Ramses sitting in a seat.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, stick with me. You understand? All right, come on.
Come on, sir. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out to the land of what? Hold on. Out to the land of what?
The land of Egypt.
So who built the pyramids in Egypt? Young man. Omar. Who built the pyramids in Egypt?
We suppose they did it as blacks.
Blacks, meaning blacks as in Judites, meaning African Americans, or blacks as in Africans. And that's it. That's the mistake. When Moses was speaking to the Israelites.
Right.
You understand?
I was also that you know, Moses died at 940 years old.
Yeah, Moses lived you know what I mean, back then the brothers lived long lives. Yes. And then the Lord had to cut it because of our wickedness, our evil against him. All right. Now, this is who you seeing on the screen right here.
Like so, that's Ramses the second.
Ramses the second, right? Now show me a picture of who? Who are you going to show me a picture of right now?
Salaki.
Come on.
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. Show me a picture of Abraham Lincoln now. Show me a picture of Abraham Lincoln right now. Fayetteville. Fayetteville, let the brother face front and let me ask this question. All right, y'all, he's in class. All right. And then put his question. All right. Now, you saw what's on the screen. On the screen was what? Was Ramses. Now I need a picture of Abraham Lincoln. All right. Now, why is America mimicking everything that was back then in Egypt? Why?
They knew Abraham Lincoln was black in real life.
Abraham Lincoln was not black in real life. Abraham Lincoln was a white man. He was a devil. And how I knew he was a devil? How we knew Abraham Lincoln was a devil?
He owned 10 slaves.
He owned slaves. Slaves don't make you, you know what I mean, black, because black people, you remember, don't think like slavery was just in one specific area, meaning in the West. You understand? King James was a black man in England sitting on a throne, and he was black. in 1611. You ever heard of 1611? You understand? So there was rich black people on the earth also too. What made Abraham Lincoln white?
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
I think that was a famous quote that said that if he could have keep he didn't want to abolish slavery. You know what I'm saying? If he can say the Union, he wouldn't have did away with the slavery.
Yes, if he was black, he would have never been up in there in these white people's space. This man was Abraham Lincoln was a white man. The reason why they make claim he was black is because they laid claim that that he's the one that freed black people when he never freed black people. This was too beef between brothers, white men, the men in the north and the men in the south over what? Control of the economics. That's why the north, everybody leaves from where? From the south. If you want to get rich, you leave from the south to come where? Come up north. You understand? Baba Sparks want to get rich. He had to what? Come up north.
So like that,
sir.
Come on.
So with respect to what Abraham Lincoln said, what Officer Zion was saying, you know, he said that if I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. So his allegiance was to America. It wasn't to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's it.
Salakia.
But they give us a false sense of hope. Right. What's his name? Shabala. Keep an eye on it, right? Let me know.
Yeah, so like I said, they already started, but they hadn't started. They're just playing music right now.
Okay, so good.
So like
right. Come on.
To add to that point of what you were saying, you know, Lincoln, he did not encourage the free slaves to seek revenge against their former slave owners, but he said instead in the Emancipation Proclamation, he advocates for joining the army and practicing peaceful and productive labor. So he wanted to continue and to be slaves in America in spirit. Salakia.
Correct. He wants you to assimilate into America as being second class, third class citizens. You understand? Right? Now, and just look up what was Abraham ethnicity. Just look it up on the internet right now.
Like it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
In respects to what you were saying about the South coming up north, what's so heavy about that is they still do that to this day. Like up north, our minimum wages, I think it started at like $18 an hour. Down south, where we at, it's what, $7.25.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. So like it.
Yeah, that's just when it comes to the oppressor, just think economics.
Right.
Slavery to them was just about economics. It had nothing to do with you being black. You know what I mean? You being black was just an excuse to do it, but it had to do with economics. All right. And also to Tabo, once you do this right now, right? So Abraham Lincoln was what? Of
English ancestry.
Right. And they're telling you these things. Why? Because all these white men, remember, America was like a, for lack of better terms, like a colony. So if you were a poor white man in England, you came to America to do what? To
Salakia.
Come on.
To find work.
Not
get
to
a
find
job.
Just simple, to live the American dream. Right? To live the American dream. You understand? That's why they come to America. Remember, England was sending their who to America? England was sending what? Their rejects, their criminals to America. You understand? That's why you go ask American today, a white American today, what's your ethnicity? What's your nationality? They're gonna say what? My father was Irish. My great-great-grandfather was Irish. My great-great-grandfather was German. You understand? Well, Abraham Lincoln his grandfather was what? Was from England. You understand? He wasn't a black man. He was a white man that loved his people. Come on.
Commander Junior Hanna, he just started it.
Okay. So with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to you know me, young man Omar, you keep on coming to class, man. Bring all them questions. All right. With that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Batzawan. Okay, let's go.
Shalom. This is the ISUBK security announcements. We are the ISUBK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters coming to the school. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they are in need of transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After a 6 months period, if a brother or a sister has interest in a particular brother or sister, she or he must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. It means ma'ashara in the Hebrew, means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, a free will offering for priests. It is not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Next up, holy convocation is Shalakia. Shalakia. It's the Shalakia. It's the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. It's the first day of the 7th month, Sunday the 21st, September 2025. You can find it in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, 24 through 25. And with that, if anyone wants to be a trooper, please dress in all black. Start wearing all black boots and shirts and headband. And with that, men of Israel, let's give one courtesy salute to teacher. Men of Israel, Amadium. Salakia. Amadium Shabbat. Amadium. Barak. Yahweh. Men of Israel, Sar, give one courtesy.
Hold on. Yahweh Bashim Yashabrak thumb.
The water,
no.
sir.
And no, it is sisters.
Salakia, men of Israel, Sar. Let's give one courtesy salute to the sister. Sar means turn, face towards the sister. Sar. Men of Israel, Amadium. Amadium Shabbat. Amadium. Baruch. Yahweh Shema. Yadam Tat. Class dismissed.